Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is right here, everyone. It's a little late, but welcome back for a little bit more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. It is a little late, but I wanted to address the Harvey Weinstein appeal victory. Harvey Weinstein's conviction was overturned on appeal. And when you read the details that have been reported for why the conviction was overturned, it would be very easy to assume that these same arguments would apply to Danny Masterson's appeal. But they do, in fact, not. And I wanted to discuss why briefly. So the article that we're going to take a look at, title is Harvey Weinstein's 2020 conviction overturned by New York Appeals Court. And here is what has been reported. Harvey Weinstein's 2020 conviction was overturned Thursday in New York, making way for a new trial. The state court of appeals found that the judge in the landmark Me Too trial prejudiced the former film mogul with improper rulings, including a decision to let women testify about allegations that weren't part of the case. We're going to look at the rest of the article, but this is the main thing that I want to address because Danny Masterson's trial also included testimony from women who were not a part of the case, who Danny Masterson was not charged with any crimes against them. And I'm going to do my best to try to explain the difference here. Quote, we conclude that the trial court erroneously admitted testimony of uncharged, alleged prior sexual acts against persons other than the complainants of the underlying crimes, because that testimony served no material, non-propensity purpose, the court said in a 4-3 decision. The court compounded that error when it ruled that defendant, who had no criminal history, could be cross-examined about those allegations, as well as numerous allegations of misconduct that portrayed defendant in a highly prejudicial light. Judge Jenny Rivera called the errors egregious and said the remedy is a new trial. Weinstein's accusers could again be called to testify if prosecutors decide to pursue another trial. Judge Madeline Singas, in a dissenting opinion, accused the majority of whitewashing the facts to conform to a he said, she said narrative and failing to recognize that the jury was allowed to consider Weinstein's past assaults. This court has continued a disturbing trend of overturning juries' guilty verdicts in cases involving sexual violence. Wow. In a separate dissenting opinion, Judge Anthony Canataro said the decision was an unfortunate step backwards. Okay. All right. So let's talk about what the most important differences are here. First of all, the overturned conviction was in New York, not in California. California has a very specific law passed in 1996, very specifically allowing what they call past bad acts witnesses, or 1108 witnesses. Also, in the Harvey Weinstein trial, they allowed more past bad acts witnesses to testify than there were women Harvey was actually charged with crimes against. And you guys can fact check me on this, but I think it was being tried for crimes against 3 women. They allowed 4 women to testify as past bad acts witnesses. The very heavy weighting on the past bad acts witnesses is going to be a contributing factor to the ruling about prejudice. In Danny Masterson's case, he was being charged with crimes against 3 women, and there was only 1 past bad act witness who testified in the first trial. That witness did not testify in the second trial, but in the second trial, additionally, there was 1 past bad acts witness. And additionally, in the first trial, the prosecution requested right in the outset these past bad acts witnesses to be allowed, and Judge Charlene Olmedo actually said no. See, these witnesses by law are allowed to testify, but it has to be relevant. And the judge said in the beginning that she just didn't see that the door had been opened to the relevance of the past bad acts witnesses at that time. And Danny Masterson's defense team's strategy, they said it was going to focus on consent And the judge basically ruled that as long as that was the focus, she didn't think a past bad acts witness would be necessarily warranted. But what happened is Danny's team didn't stick to the game plan. Instead of arguing that these acts occurred but they were consensual, they instead tried to attack the credibility. They tried to argue that these acts actually never occurred at all, and they also tried to allege collusion amongst the Jane Does. And it was actually the judge who made a ruling in the middle of the first trial that she was, as a result of the defense strategy of Danny Masterson's team, she was now going to allow, she changed her ruling in the middle of the trial. She was now going to allow a past bad acts witness to testify because it was now necessary to respond to the defense's strategy. And so that's why it's a very, very different situation in the Danny Masterson trial than what is being reported and what actually happened in the Harvey Weinstein trial in New York. Let me see. Was there anything else? Oh, also, normally I'm told that you're supposed to have 60 days to file your appeal from the date that you are convicted. Well, it's been a hell of a lot longer than 60 days. I can't remember. Does the 60-day clock start running when you're convicted or when you're sentenced? I'm not exactly sure. Danny Masterson has still not filed his appeal. So first, the delay in the filing was because, let me check my notes here. First, he got an extension. Then he needed the transcript. Then they argued that the transcript was incomplete. Anyway, he hasn't filed his appeal, and his team is still waiting for what they claim. They're still claiming they do not have a complete record of the transcript of the whole trial, that there's errors in the transcript, and that they need this. They need this before they can actually file their appeal. But they do intend on appealing, and I am told that it is expected, even with these delays, that by the end of the year, we should not only have Danny Masterson's appeal filed, but we should have the final ruling from the Court of Appeals, whether they're even going to hear it at all. So it's not going to be this thing that drags on for years the way the Harvey Weinstein appeal has. And well, that's pretty much it. That's all I got, guys. I'm seeing a whole lot of mentions about DOA in the live chat. What is going on? Let me see. Sonia Grasky, DOA is going viral. The defender of ants becoming known of more and more. Oh, I thought this was a specific thing. You're just being DOA's hype man in the live chat. Is that what's going on here? All right. Well, Ken's channel says, my Holiday Inn Express lawyer friend Aaron with a timely update. I spent an hour with Liz Ferris and DOA today. He was swatted very gently by bike cops when I arrived. I still have not had a chance to cover DOA getting swatted up in San Francisco. I was watching it live, and it was absolutely unbelievable. And I've been meaning to do a video highlighting that, but I will get to it. All right, guys, just a brief update. Thank you guys for joining me this evening, however briefly. Thank you, as always, to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe